into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to Auto Club Speedway, or as it's currently known, Next Gen California. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be here guiding you through all the action this evening. Not entirely sure what's happening with OBS currently at the moment. It's got a little bit funky. You got things playing that shouldn't be playing, so there we go. Hopefully we'll settle down and you will be able to see the racing very, very shortly. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined by Kenton Sportak as normal here on this wonderful Tuesday evening, one round before the playoffs, and it's getting exciting now. I can bring you up the scores just before we bring Kenton into the booth, and there are your top 8: Alex Witt, Daniel Michael, Christian Strada, Noel Hanna, Jordan Malcolm, Josh McGuigan, Arma Brusso and Brandon McLaughlin. Just outside of that, Anthony Radel, Andrew Almquist, Calvin Ross and Terry Spainhour. It's a big ask for my boy Terry Spainhour to get into the playoffs, but if anybody could do it, Terry can. And Cutie, welcome in. I hope you're well, or Mimi, whichever one you prefer. I like the music, it's funky, got me doing a little dancey dance. Well, nice. Glad about that, but let's bring Kenton into the booth and we can discuss what is happening currently in the playoffs. Kenton, it's very close at that bottom 7, 8, 9 and 10 spot. What do we reckon is going to happen?
It's very close. I mean, it's 1 point separating 8th and 9th there. I mean, even 7th is, only 2 points up. So I think it's going to be a dogfight to the end for those. I'd say even Almquist got a pretty good outside shot. Calvin Ross and Spainhour will have a little bit of an outside chance. They definitely are going to be trying to push. They will need a massive race today to be able to pull it off with only one left. But I think with Almquist, Radel, McLaughlin, and Brusso, it's going to be a little bit of a dogfight to see who is able to hold on to that spot and get themselves into the playoffs here.
Okay, so who do you think is going to get themselves into the playoffs?
Oh, I think Radel has an outside shot strictly because he's been quietly doing well. I know he's missed a couple of races, but he's one of those dark horses to make a drive from here. And then, you know what, I'd say, I think, and I know this is a stretch, but I think McLaughlin's going to hold on to it as well. So I think it's going to be a double move, and Radel will slide himself in there and get him into, he'll be 8th, McLaughlin will get up into 7th, and that's, I think, how it's going to go.
Oh, well, there we go. It's Dan here. Warm good evening from Cancun. Hoping to see a good run from Armand and maybe a win from Noel here. Well, Dan, Michael, welcome in, bud. I'm not entirely sure why you're watching in Cancun on holiday. I've got to be honest. It would probably be the last thing I'll be thinking about, Kenton. I don't know about you. Would you be sat in Mexico watching the racing?
I mean, I wouldn't be, but unless this is his way of saying he's bringing us a present back from Cancun, it's just mean.
Yes. What, Mr. Dan Michael, are you going to bring us back? What presents can we buy? The problem is I'm in the UK, so it's a long way for him to send any presents to me. You're not, though, are you? You're in Canada. You're not too far away. Ooh, Mr. Michael, I collect fridge magnets, Dan. If there's a fridge magnet going from Cancun, I'll have one of them. There you go. I'm happy with a fridge magnet. It's filling up my side of the fridge. All right, so we've come to Auto Club or Next Gen California, whichever one you want to call it. But don't really mind. It's not a problem. this track, what is it going to bring us? Now, normally you're the man with the knowledge. What knowledge have you got with us for us this week?
So this track is going to be a very interesting one. I know typically when we talk about how they drive, where you're going to sit lines-wise, like if you're going to be going low-high or high-low, if you're going to stick in the middle. Auto Club, with the way it's laid out, with how flat everything is, from a very shallow corner banking to a very shallow back straight, there's 3-4 different lines you can run, and a lot of people can run multiple lines corner to corner. You can adjust your line as you kind of need. Like there's the really high up where Alex Witt is there, ahead up in the front there, staying by the wall, don't go down kind of thing. Then there's the other version where you could go kind of in the middle and hold that line just to sort of tire save, but still get good push out. And then there's the low line where you're pushing a little bit harder, but will wear your tires a little more. But then there's also you could go from the outside to the middle and then late apex it to get a good run coming out of that corner. It's a very, very interesting track, and you can really use the multiple lines to really push yourself into better positions and kind of adjust for everything. So it's a very exciting track. It's very fast, and I mean a lot of ability to avoid incidents, which is also great because I think it's 75 meters from wall to apron, and then another feet, I guess. It is American. 15 feet from for the apron itself. So you've got a lot of space to maneuver around and kind of make things happen, and you can really use the draft, or you can even still, without a draft, make moves. It's a very interesting track. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, so predictions. What is your prediction here this evening? Who is going to take the victory, and who will be in the final 8?
My victory today. Sorry, Daniel Michael. I know you said Noel Hanna here. I gotta stick with my my fellow countryman and go with Josh McQuiggan. Stick with the Canadian, as he he does hold the fastest lap. Well, did until about 2 seconds ago, held the fastest lap there. So that's where I'm gonna put my money for now. And then in the top 8, I think it'll stay very much the same. The only difference, I think, is Anthony Radel sliding in to that final spot and McLaughlin bumping up one spot, which unfortunately, I know does bump one out. Rather unfortunate.
So who do you think is going to get bumped out?
I'm trying to remember who it was. Whoever was in 7th. I don't have the list in front of me. I can't see. Brusso, yes. An unfortunate day, I think, for Brusso. But I think Armin Brusso's just gonna get unlucky. But I think McLaughlin and Radel will be able to bump their way up.
Oh, okay. Well, so Dan has said he's going to bring back good vibes and happy feels. Not quite really what we were after, but you know, Dan, we'll take that one if that's all we're going to get. Lydia, make sure TJ has a bottle of water. I love that after last week with Terry. Of course, Mr. Start because he went to go get a bottle of water. And Dan's also put, this is definitely my favourite track for you guys in the booth. Expect great racing with fast guys more than likely running a high line for momentum passes with the draft. Do we agree, Kenton? Now, obviously, Dan's a driver,
sure.
So, you know, let's not go against him too much.
For sure. It is a very quick track, and if you are holding on to that kind of top line, you can definitely push a lot harder than you'd expect. And you can get a really good runs coming off that top line, especially if you have a little bit of draft ahead of you as well. You can really get a fantastic momentum shift coming in and out of a corner and be able to pull yourself ahead of guys very quickly, which is always cool.
Okay, well, let's see what happens here this evening. I do believe that I think Armin Brusso might get pushed out, but it's whether or not he's going to stay ahead of Ross. If Ross doesn't get past Brusso, and I think it could be Radels then, So I think it could be Radels and Ross might miss out. That's my prediction there. As for the win, well, I'm going to go with Jordan Malcolm, I think. He pulled a master stroke off last week, and I think this one is going to be no different, as they are in qualifying guys as well. Lydia, please tell me Terry has got a bottle of water and he will not miss the start of the race. You know, don't want him to do anything like that, because otherwise his chances have definitely gone out the window. But he is, I suppose technically, it's a very, 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 very long shot that Spainhour will get in, isn't it? It's well and truly above and beyond the chances, to be honest.
It is a very much a long shot. He would need, I don't want to say a miracle, because that feels not quite correct, but he would need a lot of help to get himself into the final spot there. And unfortunately for him, a good chunk of, if not all of, I think the guys kind of catchable for him are here. So it's not, he's definitely going to have to do it on the track. He's not going to be able to rely on anyone kind of just slipping and sleeping it away. So he's going to have a monster race and have a fantastic thing, but we'll see.
Right, okay, so now we've got to do a little bit of a correction here, because I've just read the scores in the Discord that are somehow different from the scores that I've got. Armin Brusso and Brandon McLaughlin are tied in 7th and 8th place on 267 points. Okay, 267. Anthony Rader is on 264. Almquist is on 252. And Ross is on 246. Spainhour, with the drop week that's been applied, is on 224. So that puts him even further back, and I kind of have to admit that that's, well, a mountain for Terry to kind of climb there, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be close, but I think it's gonna be hard to do. I mean, he's gonna put in a great effort. I mean, we know Spainhour he'll definitely push his way there and fight to try and get his times for sure and fight for that, but I think it's going to be just out of reach.
Yeah, I believe it is. I'm just trying to quickly update to make sure the scores match here before we start, but I'm going to try and get there as quickly as I can and see if I can at least get the top 9 in place. Ready to go, so we can bring you up and show you. Just bear with for 2 seconds. It's quite interesting the fact that Armin and also Brandon are on the same score here. Anthony Radel's not far back, but I think it's going to be a little bit tough for anyone to really get past Anthony Radel. I don't even think Calvin Ross will be able to get there, I don't think, either. So this is where we're at. I think this is where we're at currently. Hold on 2 seconds. So that's the current positions for the top 11. Terry's on 224. So the top 11, that's the situation at the moment. 438, 384, 347, 336. So it is literally, they've got from Almquist to Brusso to McLaughlin to Radel, anything from 15 points. And then down to Ross, there's 23. Again, another big arse, really, isn't that?
Yeah, and I think that him not being at last race kind of sunk his chances there.
Yeah, definitely.
For him to make it in. So rather unfortunate for him, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so here we go. We are on the pace lap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's sit back, chill out, relax, and enjoy what plans to be an absolute epic evening of racing from Auto Club, from Next Gen California, from wherever you want to call it in the world. The current playoff places are the ones marked in red. So McGuigan, McLaughlin, Hanna, Malcolm, Brusso, and Strada of course, we know where Dan Michael is. He's sunning himself in Cancun, which is quite nice. Lydia has said he has his water this time. Well done, Lydia. Proud of you. Thanks so much. But let's see how we get on. Stage 1 is at lap 30 here this evening. And we're going to be underway very, very shortly. 14 cars on track ready to go. New season's already wrapped up. And we're going to be very shortly going to be green. We're into the Geico restart zone now. It's Josh McGuigan, it's Alex Witt, it's Anthony Radel, it's Andrew Onquist. Here we go. And we're underway here currently at the moment at the Auto Club. And it is Josh McGuigan. It is McGuigan taking the whole shot out in front currently at the moment. Now, Kenton, really clean start, to be fair.
Yeah, that was a very smooth start. I mean, McQuiggan and Witt will be kind of going back and forth, it looks like, for the most part here, as they try and fight their way through to that front section and hope to get themselves good positioning. And the nice thing about this this track and stuff is, even if you've got a solid couple seconds or couple tenths, sorry, it's not necessarily safe. Like, you still have a lot of work you're going to have to do just to get yourself any gap. You can alter how fast everything is moving very quickly. So it'll be very interesting because that draft is going to be very powerful, and I can see Witt and McQuiggan kind of working together to sort of push their way through, as you can see them basically connected as they try and push towards getting some space there and kind of breaking away from the pack a little bit.
Yeah, everybody now is spread out across the track, but we did say that could be a distinct possibility, didn't we? We did say that they would be looking at using various lines here as we go on to lap 4 of 75, ready to go. And McGuigan, Witt, Radel, Hannah, Onquist. You can see in the back there, everybody's kind of spread out, aren't they? There's no one line, there's no set double columns, which is what we're used to seeing at times, and then there's single line racing. And that's due to the fact of the wideness of this circuit, isn't it? They are able to go and do that.
For sure, yeah. Though, I mean, how wide the track is a big proponent as to why there's multiple lines you can run, but it's as well, like, you got to throw in how flat the track is. Those corners being a little bit of contact between Witt and McQuiggan there as they came out of the front straight coming into turn 1. But they're both able to continue going, which is always good. But yeah, like, how wide and how flat it is allows you to be able to kind of utilize more of the banking and not really push yourselves too crazy to stick to one specific line. It gives you a little bit more leeway as to how you can utilize as much of the track as you want to, while not also sacrificing a ton of speed or a ton of positioning. But it does get a little slick because of how flat it is. You're not getting as much of that centrifugal force, so it does make it a lot tougher to get through there. And
yeah, 3 wide going on
personally
here.
Yeah, and I wouldn't really personally want to drop down to the apron too much. That's a little dicey going down that low, but Witt made it work, and he's now in first. So
it's going to be complicated in the middle here. McLaughlin, Strada, Onquist, Spainhour is all involved in this middle one. They're 3 wide out there. You can see it on your screen. Car number 81. That's Brandon McLaughlin. Armand Brusso's just a little back from that. Spainhour's dropped down and running the apron line here as well. He really needs to be making moves through. Chi Cooper does as well. Chi, of course, in that beautiful gold and white livery that we saw last week. And absolutely incredible there as well. But back up front, we've got 2 back to 2. Witt, McGuigan, Hannah and Radel. Can Brusso or Ross get Radel, do we think?
I don't know. Ross, I mean, for Ross, he's going to have to basically win it. Getting Radel isn't going to really help him out too much in terms of actually getting into the playoffs. Whereas for Radel, he's got a shot. And if he keeps driving the way he is, I mean, he's keeping it smart, not pushing too hard and just trying to stick in there. And I think that's going to give him the best chance of being able to kind of make his way into a playoff position.
Yeah, I love this format. I think this format itself. Now, obviously, you know, I'm in the UK and grew up in Formula One. It's just straight sprint to the end of the championship. But when you're this close, and there's possibly 4 guys that could get that final 2 playoff spots, boy, oh boy, does it make it going to be interesting here. And Anthony Radel at the moment is doing what he needs to do. He's beating Ross. He's beating Brusso as well. You know, he's there. He's beating Brown and McLaughlin. He's doing what he needs to do. And I wonder if it's going to be almost that, Whit running the wall. Literally running the wall there. A bit of Chastain going on. But Alex Whit, as he runs along the wall, of course, out of turn 2, down the back straight. Is he going to be shaking? Do you think Radel's legs are going to be doing the whole, like, right hand shake kind of, right leg shake nerves kind of situation?
I mean, it could be, but the way he's driving so far, I'm going to say he's not stressing himself out too much, as he's just turning left and keeping pedal down and staying out of trouble. He's not losing touch with the front group, but he's also not trying to force anything to happen. And in reality, like, that's all he has to do. Is they've already, this front pack here has kind of opened up almost a 2-second gap or a 1.5-second gap to the next pack sort of thing behind them. So if he's able to just kind of stay in touch, use everybody to kind of pull him through, not try and force too much, and really at that point all he has to focus on is trying to stay in a higher position than the 2 guys he's trying to chase. And right now he is, and he's definitely sticking on up with that front pack and letting it just kind of pull him to a possible playoff position.
Yeah, so there we go. Alex Whit on the timer tower is highlighted now as well. So we've got Whit, McGuigan, Hannah, Malcolm, McLaughlin, Strada, Brusso. Brusso needs something. I don't know what he needs, but whatever he needs something. He's got to get forward. He's at least got to get past McLaughlin. He's at least got to try and get onto the back of Radel, and currently it's not happening. Spainhour and Kuba here are literally nose to tail before, hoping Kuba managed to stay out the wall there as well, but they were literally nose to tail at one point. They're dropping off the pack though, so they need to figure out what's going to be the best way. I don't know, from Spainhour's point of view, he was running that very low line at the beginning, and I don't know, judging by the fact that Dan Michael was turned around and said, look, they should be on that, running that high line. I'm a bit concerned that he's not gone about that start in the best way. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not driving in the car. I understand that. But when you're 2.1 second back of the pack of Brusso, kind of doesn't mean you've done something right, does it?
Yeah, and this track is very technical in a lot of ways. Like, you can sit there and be like, oh, I'm just going to drive this line, or I'm just going to drive that line. But in reality, like, you can drive almost whatever line you want, but how effective it is very, very dependent on how you are as a driver. And like, having driven on this track, all the lines work, but you just have to know how to make each line work. Some of them require more lifting, which if no one else is really running that really low line, which they really aren't. There's not a lot of people sitting down near the white too often, going through the corners. So if no one else is really running that line, you kind of want to stay a little bit higher, or you have to push the car a little bit more. And then the downside with this track, because of how flat it is, again, if you get on the throttle too early, or if you push too hard, it can cause you to spin around completely and introduce yourself to a wall, and you've got to deal with all that. Almquist getting nice and close and personal there. They've tried to check out the livery of Brusso there, but they're still going forward. It's always good.
Oh, I was breathing in then. I wasn't even in the car, and I was sucking air in then, thinking, is Brusso going to get through? He's now got past Ross. Ross and Brusso swapping places. The interesting thing, Calvin Ross, one of the admins in the league, Armin Brusso, the owner of the league, and they're fighting. Oh, no. Oh, he kept it. Well done to you, Almquist there, but you have lost a place. Now, there was discussions this week in the Discord whether or not Brusso was going to be like, I'm the owner, shift out of the way, Mr. Ross. And then he was like, well, jokingly turned around and went, I'm going to put him in the wall and all this sort of thing. So there was a lot of banter backwards and forwards this week. I've got to be honest between these guys. So it was great to see. Obviously I'm not expecting Armand to go and put Ross in the wall any more than I'm expecting Ross to move over, to be fair, because it is a straight fight and that is the be all and end of all of it. But it's going to be interesting, isn't it, how this is going to pan out here, because they all need to be further up than what they are. They need to get at least McLaughlin in 5th. And at the moment, they're about 1.5 to 2 seconds back from him currently at the moment.
Yeah, and they got to kind of get moving. Obviously, and it looks like our first caution.
First caution's out.
Didn't see what happened.
I cannot see what happened because all the information I've got is this. Calvin Ross.
Interesting.
What did you do?
I'm not really sure what caused that first caution. I mean, it's going to be advantageous as people are going to be able to pull themselves back into, I guess,
out
the line. But
what did he do? Did he throw the Normally, I'm seeing what they've done by now, but there's nothing there.
No, I'm not really sure what happened here.
Wow. Okay. First caution on lap 16. We're not entirely sure what the reasoning was. As we've just seen there from the replay, there wasn't anything happening. Now, as expected, the front have been in already. Spainhour has been in. Ross, Almquist, Kuba, Kuhn and Hedger in. So you're going to have to bear... I'm here, what did I miss? Well, you've just missed a very ghostly yellow flag, Shannon, that we're not entirely sure... yellow flag, sorry, caution. Sorry, NASCAR. We're not entirely sure where it come from. So that's a little bit interesting. Let me see if I can get... Is Calvin Ross out of the pits before I go and pull him in? He's on his way out now. Let's see if we can have a quick chat with Calvin Ross during this caution time. Calvin, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Not too bad. Any idea why that caution come out?
Absolutely no idea. I thought it was somebody spinning in the back of the field, but then I don't know what's going on. So...
Okay, because the notification I had, it was caused by you. We watched the replay and there was literally nothing happening there, so I'm not entirely sure what iRacing has seen that we haven't. Okay, chances of getting in the playoffs, Calvin, go.
It's going to be tight. I'm going to have to do really well, and I need everybody else to do really poorly. So, hope for a miracle. I'll just be happy to be there.
Okay, right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us there, bud, and we'll catch you later.
Anytime. See you.
Well, when a league admin doesn't know why there's a caution, we definitely know something ghostly's gone on, don't we?
Yeah, that's a confusing situation for sure. Not really sure what happened.
Sorry, guys, we may sound like we're not sure what we're doing up here, right? But we're not entirely sure why that caution's come out. We can't see anything on the replay of Calvin Ross doing anything. You've just heard from Calvin as well. He's come in and said he literally has no idea why that caution's come out. It's good the fact that it's bunched up the whole entire field, of course. Don't get me wrong, they're all back together again now, so everybody's kind of a level-headed playing field. Everybody's pitted regardless. They do have, of course, 3 sets of tyres for going 75 laps. First caution was out on lap 16, so, welcome in, basically, if you are here. Like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Be amazing. We're almost at 1K. I think we're at 877 or something like that at the moment, so we're trying to push that 1K barrier. And, of course, Biggles, my wonderful co-commentator, is trying to get me to do a food review while I'm on holiday in Spain live. So, but that only happens at 1K. So if you want to see a food review of me in Spain while trying to order apparently my food in Spanish as well, you better hit the subscribe button, because that won't happen unless we're at 1K before I go away on the 22nd of May. Right. Lights are out. We're going once more from this imaginary caution that nobody's really quite sure why it came out. But from our point of view, I suppose, Kenton, it's a good thing. We're going to go into the Geico restart zone very, very shortly. There it is on the bottom of your screen. It's Whit, McGuigan, Hannah, Radel. It's going to be underway once more, and it was going racing once again here. And Whit has got that jump, Kenton, that he does so well, so often, every single time.
Yeah, he's definitely, we almost have to come up with a name for that, because he seems to get off so smoothly and with so much of a gap instantaneously. Now, McQuiggan utilizing that draft to get himself back up there, and he's nice and close now, but I don't know how Whit does it. It's amazing to watch.
I don't know. Between him and Daniel Michael, they've literally got starts under yellow, just absolutely nailed there as well, and it's just incredible of what they do and how they do it so well off the line every single time. And your boy Josh McGuigan currently sitting in second.
Yeah, and you can see, so he's running kind of that high sort of midline area there, which is going to save tires a little bit more, but it also depends on, for Whit, how he's saving tires on how much he's lifting. Because obviously the more you lift, the less power you're putting into the car, the less torque you're actually putting on those tires, the longer they're going to live. So it's hard to say who's necessarily saving the best, but it's all going to come down to, I think, who's able to save the most without sacrificing their pace.
Okay, well,
and kind of causing them to draw. So,
well, that yellow has benefited Brusso here with Ross Armquist behind him. He's still got McLaughlin in front of him, so he may need to get on to the back of him. But Armour Brusso, they're currently sitting in 6th place, up 2 places, of course, from where they started. But really, gains and losers don't really mean a lot here at the Auto Club, due to the fact that we've seen it before. You could be out in front, and next thing you know, you're in the wall. So it's a very random situation here, with Jordan Malcolm's a little bit further down in 9th. Ross is in 8th. Spain has got... Okay, so from Spainhour's point of view here, right, and I'm no genius, I don't drive NASCARs very often, and when I do, I'm generally at the back burning up my tyres like an absolutely rocket. Would you follow lines? Would you sit back and go, right, Armquist, for instance, is quick, I'm going to follow Armquist? Would you sit back and do that, or what would be your way of thinking? Would you run your own line, or would you follow somebody else's?
It's really hard to say for sure, like the best option, because obviously Almquist might have a tweak to his setup that makes it easier to run a little bit of a higher line. But it's, I mean, in this kind of race, especially when you're not guaranteed to make the playoffs, like it's a fairly long shot, I would run the risk, try it, see how it feels, see if you're able to make it work, and then kind of adjust. And I know a lot of these guys, I mean, they practiced all week getting ready for this, so for most of them, they kind of have a sort of set plan of what they're trying to try and do. But one of those things where if it is not broke, don't fix it. But in this situation, if you're trying to gain as a lot of time and spaces and gain it fairly quickly, change up, go for something, see if that works a little bit better, and really try and push your car to hopefully get yourself a little extra time and a little extra speed and a little extra gap. So that was a little sketchy.
Strada,
weird little switchback, but all right.
Strada missed Radel's car there, and there must have been millimetres between them. Otherwise, poor old Anthony Radel would have been spinning round at that point. I've got no guarantees that would have been happening. Whit and McGuigan are still fighting it out currently in front as well. I think, to be honest, right, and please, obviously, as you all know, I don't drive NASCARs very often. I would be trying the lines of everybody else is going quicker, because I think I would be giving it that amount of like shot. I would give it a go and just see, as you say, how it feels, what they run in, you know, because you've got nothing to lose, right? There's nothing there. You're fighting for something he knows it's a long shot. We spoke to him as well. He said it's a very, very long shot away from what, you know, the hope that he was going to be able to get, right? He knew that. He said that already. But I would give it a go. Like, I would literally jump on to the back of Jordan Malcolm, who we know is naturally fast at times. He's struggling a little bit here, though, mind you. And just give it a shot. Follow him. Follow what Malcolm does, because you never know with this. You never know. You know, we had an imaginary caution there. We're going to have another one in 4 laps time on the end of the stage break. So, why not?
For sure, yeah. Like, there's no risk. The only risk that possibly happens is you now have to adjust it again. Like that's really it. There's no. Ooh, this is getting a little dicey, as Witt looked like he was almost going to come up into Malcolm or McQuiggan there. But yeah, like if you're someone just fighting, even if you're, you know, Anthony Radel now, he's dropped down into P10. If you're Radel now, this is the point where you're like, okay, something's not working. What do I do? What do I adjust? What do I change? And you kind of have to kind of fix things as you're going, as you know, change on the fly sort of stuff. And I don't see why you wouldn't want to. At this point, there's no reason to not.
That shot there coming out, that could have been dangerous, with Hannah and McLaughlin and Witt and all 4 in the front joined in together, and just for good health, as Brown and McLaughlin matching onto the back as well. We're going to have this 5-way fight currently at this moment in time going to come together. Oh! Now Calvin Ross is in this. He said he needed a miracle. Is this his miracle?
He's definitely pushing for it. I mean, he's given a little bit of a draft or a bump draft for McQuiggan, as he's kind of given him a little boost to get it ahead of Witt here. Obviously, Witt has Noah Hanna right behind him, also trying to give him. Witt came a little close there to Calvin Ross, and I mean he's doing what he can to make it. Like, he's trying to make it happen. That's the thing. Like, obviously, without forcing anything too bad, and a little bit of a tank slappers and stuff, but nothing dangerous. But it's like he's gotta, you know, he's gotta make moves like this. He's gotta try and take advantage of it. As he gets a little into McQuiggan there, as he tries to cut down on the inside, and then this is the big thing. So you run a risk though if you. Oh, that's gonna be a turn. Yep, that's on that one. I gotta say, I don't think Calvin Ross I mean, good timing, right at the stage end, but Calvin and Ross unfortunately got a little excited and crossed over McQuiggan there, and I think that's not the best. I think he was pushing a little too hard at that point and caused him to kind of lose the car a little bit.
The interesting thing was Ross going for the stage win to give himself them extra points?
Possibly. Yeah, I could see that having been what he was trying to do there, and just unfortunately got a little bit of hold of McQuiggan, because it looks like he tries to come. He almost came up on McQuiggan. We'd have to see a little bit before that, as unfortunately I didn't see where McQuiggan's line was. But yeah, it looks like McQuiggan comes off the wall a little bit, but then
he is literally squashed against that wall.
Yeah, there's really nowhere for him to go there.
No, I think you can see literally, look, he's against that wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all just kind of goes a little bit wrong. So you're right, there wasn't anywhere really that he's able to go, is he? He can't go anywhere. Look, Ross is up, McGuigan's in.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but yeah. For them guys, not ideal. Everybody again is in the pits, so literally sit on.
Might as well go for full tires too. And for McQuiggan, McQuiggan, thankfully for him, you get that quick fix, that quick repair, so he's able to not get too much damage, and that's makes the car undrivable or anything. So he'll be back out, and same for Calvin Ross. But I think unfortunately for Ross, I think it's not going to be a great one for sure.
No, a little bit unfortunate there.
That will
as well.
not help him.
No, it definitely won't.
Yeah.
We're going to presume that Alex Witt would have taken the stage victory on that one. And we'll see if we can have a quick chat with Alex now as he heads to field on this caution. Alex, how are you getting on in there, sir?
Pretty good. It's pretty fun racing.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's all been a bit tight, isn't it? A little bit of door rubbing. There in the mid-pack, in the front pack with McGuigan and also Calvin Ross involved as well in that one. You know, how is it from your perspective? Because you're leading the championship, mate. You know, you haven't really got to go go hell to leather. You're already in the playoffs. But
yeah, I'm trying to keep it as clean as I can, but I definitely do like this track. It can provide some pretty crazy racing like this. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely it seems to be. Are you going for the win, or are you just going for points at this moment in time?
I'll go for the win if I'm in the position. We'll see how the pit stop works out this stage, whether it'll be green or not. And we'll see. If I'm there at the end, I'll go for it.
Well, under the yellow event, you did take the stage win. I believe you were ahead at the moment the caution came out. So we are going to be under the presumption that you took the stage win. So that's some extra points to go into, you know, already on your high tally above everybody else already.
Yeah, it feels good to be out front. I just want to make sure, keep the momentum going through the playoffs.
No, okay, mate. Well, we'll let you go as the lights are out, and we'll catch up with you later. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Ross is at the back now. It seems like all that hard work is just gone within one foul swoop, isn't it? It's so disappointing.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, Ross is not going to enjoy that one, and unfortunately I think that's going to more or less sink him. It is oval racing, though. Weird things happen, so who knows? He might be in the front very quickly, so we'll see how the rest of the race plays out, but that definitely didn't help him.
No, but I do like the fact that he was going for it. Do you know what I mean? He was putting in that big boy effort, wasn't he? He literally was there, but we are going to be going green very, very shortly once more. The lights are out. Here we go. We're into the restart zone. Almquist has made that break already. Witt's alongside Joshua Kuhn as well. Kuhn's in a little bit of an unpredictable position at the moment because he's not normally that high up. So I'm expecting a rush of cars to come underneath him as we lead round once more. All the way now to the race end. There's no stopping us now. This is it. Unless there's a caution, we are at race end, ready to see how this one pans out and who will not be on the playoffs going into next week at Talladega. Don't forget, we are not having a break. We are just going straight into next week at Talladega, ready to go there as well. Oh, big slide. Big slide. Somebody's off. Jordan Malcolm. Oh,
Looks like he might have said
yeah, he saved it.
Forgot there's a big bump right in the middle there, but he did manage to save it and keep it moving forward, which is good. But yeah, that'll cost you some time. So now he's going to definitely be hoping for some form of a yellow flag to hopefully get himself back up there. But Almquist is he's quietly doing pretty well now up at the front there and holding on to that position.
Yeah, see, I would be up behind Ross. I've got to be honest. He's got that line nailed, and if I was Spain now, I'd be nose to tail with Ross. Brusso's going to do what I've said, but yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to use that draft too, and that's the other thing. Like, you do get a draft sitting behind guys, so he kind of. If I'm him, I'd want to be using it.
Yeah.
Use that draft a little bit, get yourself going, but we'll, I guess, see how it goes and if he's able to kind of pull his way back up there.
No, he's definitely going to have a go. That's all you can ask for, is to have a go and see how we go. We've got a very flat racetrack in conjunction to what we're normally looking at currently at the moment. So it's literally 3 degrees on the back stretch, 11 degrees on the front stretch, and 14 degrees in the corners. But I'd be slotting in. I'd be slotting in now. and following everybody on that outside line, especially if I'm not making gains. I would be tucked up right behind somebody and say, right, you pull me along, sir. You do it for me, and I'm going to try and just keep up where I can. So from Spainow's point of view, that would be my plan. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? But Witt's back out front again. McGuigan second, Hannah Ferber, Clockland, Almquist, Kuhn, Strada, Brusso, Spainauer, and then Calvin Ross down in 10th place. Of course, well, I'm going to say the cause of the second caution, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit apprehensive on that one. But there wasn't a lot of room for McGuigan to be left on that outside line, man, Kenton.
No, he definitely had not really anywhere to react or anywhere to kind of move to prevent. Hannah almost takes the nose off of McLaughlin there a little bit, and I mean the other kind of hard part about this track, and you can see it sticking on board here with McLaughlin, is it's bouncy. It's not a flat, perfect concrete or anything like that. You can see the cars bouncing up and down as they're hitting like little bumps and things like that. It does make it harder to stick those lines because you do have that sort of bounce, especially in the corners once you're trying to steer, and you can see a little. Looks like he's trying to stay up there, but it's causing, like, coming out of that corner, you get a little bit of bounce, and that can cause you to lose the car. You can watch going down the straight. You can see it bouncing all the way down. And then, even in this corner, going over each one of those little lanes, the little grip strips, as they're called, makes it bounce a little bit as well. So if you're trying to really hold a specific line and you clip just one of those, it can cause you to kind of slide a little bit, or you end up understeering a little more than you'd expect and not getting as much traction out of the corners as you want. It can lead to a couple of interesting moments in the track.
But is that because of the makeup of the circuit? It's asphalt circuit. Is that just wear and tear over the years that it's not been replaced? Is that what we're looking at? Ooh,
yeah, scary for Noel Hanna there.
Yeah.
And like, it is. It's one of those things where, as the track just gets used, obviously concrete lasts a lot longer. It's a lot less upkeep, but it's more expensive to lay down. Whereas asphalt is cheaper, but it degrades quicker. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to adjust, pick the lesser of two evils for what you think. And I know some places just makes more sense to use asphalt, and most tracks do. I think there's only 3 or 4 tracks that actually truly use concrete. So it's going to happen on pretty much every track. It's just how you deal with it, how well you're practiced on that kind of surface.
I don't, to be honest, I don't think there's any practice that you can do on a bumpy track like this one. One line and you're fine for 30 laps, the same line for the next lap and you're in the wall. The bumps are a little bit of a killer, especially when you're racking up the speeds that we're seeing. I think from that perspective, the overall is just got to be very, very careful. Brusso's top in. He's got 165, 166 in the corners. We'll keep an eye on what he's hitting down the straight here. But obviously he's under draft from Anthony Radel, who he needs to get at least past. But they're top in 190 miles an hour. It's crazy speeds.
Oh yeah, no, you're flying, and yeah, bumps can definitely play a massive issue or cause a massive issue, especially once tires start grading.
Oh, Kibo is in the wall then.
And you don't want to be in the wall either. But once you start kind of your tires start going, you're losing grip, you start understeering, and then you hit one of those bumps, it causes a little bit worse, and it definitely can alter how you drive per lap, kind of as you're getting through each corner as each lap goes, and you degrade your tires more and more. So you kind of have to adjust more and more to each thing that goes on in each corner and each lap. So it gets a lot more interesting as the further we get in this race. And I mean, a hotter track is obviously going to be a little less traction, and it looks like it's about 27 degrees Celsius right now. So that's not a cool track. Like, you're going to have a little more tire wear, a little less tire grip. So you kind of have to work your way through each one and hope you can kind of find a sweet spot and utilize that for yourselves. as it looks like we have Calvin Ross and Jordan Malcolm in the pits here now.
Yeah, no real reason. They've just gone in. It's about 81 degrees Fahrenheit currently, so, you know, not excessively hot, but still hot enough to make a difference. So let's see. Go Spain now. Lydia, I'm praying. Like, you don't understand how many prayers I let out today. But tell me to try and get in. But I've got to be honest, it's just too far. It's just too much of a gap that I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. And you know me, I don't. Oh, that's not going to help either. I don't sit back and you know, how can I put it? Give him an outside, like, you know, a tall order, but I'm just finding it that it's going to be very tough. Very, very tough for Spain now to make a difference on this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... Yeah, it'll be very hard. I don't want to say it's impossible because crazy things happen, but it's going to be almost impossible for him to get his way back up into kind of that front section and anything like that. So we'll see. I mean, seat time is never a bad thing at the very least. So we'll go from there and kind of hope that everything goes well for him.
Yeah, keep it on track. You never know. You never know. That's it. Don't forget, they do get 40 points for the win, and then it'll be increments of 1 all the way down to 40th position. Now, don't get me wrong, we haven't got 40 cars on track. So currently at the moment, with Spain now sitting in 11th, he's on for 29 points. Qualifying first is 3, second you get 2, qualifying third is 1. Fastest lap during the race they get 2, leading at least 1 lap they get 1 point, leading the most laps they get 5. So it's a tough one because obviously even first place in the stage is 10, and then they get increments of 1 downwards. So there's an opportunity for bonus points, but I don't know if even with the bonus points it's still going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be quite a tough challenge for Spainauer to get his way in. I mean, Anthony Radel right now he's just doing what he can to try and hold on to a position and slightly ahead so he can try and get as many points and maximize his points. That was a little close. To maximize his points so he can hopefully, you know, get that 1 extra spot. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to come down, I think, very much to that final lap. I don't think anything will be necessarily decided in the group till that point, but at least it makes for an exciting race for all of us.
It does. Then Shannon, I love the positivity, don't get me wrong. Spainauer could do it. He's our man. If anyone can do it, he can.
It's true.
Yeah,
it is possible. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's not 100% not happening. It's there. It's gonna take a monumental effort. Let's put it that way.
I think there needs to be a bit of a flat miracle for this to happen. I've got to be honest, and you know, I've been a Spainauer fan all season, right? Everybody knows this. You know, even the owners know this, but I'm a tall order. It's a tall order. Don't get me wrong, he's head of Jordan Malcolm, but he is a lot of points behind Jordan Malcolm. Malcolm's on 296. Spainauer is on 224. He needs a win. He needs a win, Lydia. Go in and give him some motivation. Tell him, James said you need to win, so follow everybody else and just do it that way. Follow everyone. That's personally what I would do. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Find someone quick, stick onto them, try and latch on and let them pull you through.
Yeah, I would as well, especially with the likes of Almquist in front of me, Radel, Brusso, you know, all these people that he needs to get ahead of. I would be latching on, but Alex Witt is just, well, there's hardly superlatives left for this man, is there? There's nothing left that you can say But Alex Witt, he's just so consistent every single week. And if they come along and said, you've got one man to put your house on going into the playoffs, would Witt be that man?
It'd be either Witt or Daniel Michael. I guess it kind of depends. Daniel Michael seems to have really good road races in these guys, but it's usually kind of a toss-up between him and Witt on the ovals themselves. So it'd be hard to bet against him. He stays composed, stays smooth, really doesn't have too many issues, stays out of trouble, just kind of does his thing. And I mean, his restarts are fantastic. He knows he holds lines beautifully. He stays out of trouble and just kind of keeps it going, pointed forward. So hopefully that means he's able to do well, but it'll be interesting to see once it gets playoff time how it all ends up shaking out.
Oh, look at this. Have you read YouTube?
I did see that.
Ooh. Well, if you still want a cup or something from him, even if he doesn't win, he just needs your information. We have something in the works. Oh, Lydia, that's awesome. And we got school is in and Alex Witt is teaching. Oh, that. Mr. Senior Sir giving us the information. Oh, Lydia, that's amazing. Thank you. There as well. So, Kenton, I look forward to publicising the cup. So let's see, as we've got Christian Strada here with Andrew Almquist and Brandon McLaughlin. McLaughlin's in front of us. Strada's running that low line. McLaughlin's in the middle of the track and Almquist is just somewhere. McGuigan's in the pits, so McGuigan has pitted. 22 laps to go. Let's see how this one all pans out. Really, in hindsight to this, to get everybody back together again, we could do with another yellow, you know, another caution, preferably for a reason this time, unlike the first one, which seemed to be for no reason whatsoever. But that would really put it in the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if I'm McQuiggan, I'm really praying there isn't. Having just pit himself is really the last thing you're going to want to have to deal with, but it does look like Witt is also coming in here. So you're going to start seeing guys coming in, getting their pit stops taken and getting some new tires on. So we'll see. It'll be a very interesting to see how it all adjusts out after the pit stop. It's a fairly long pit lane too, which is kind of weird. It's not the fastest or shortest pit lane that we will deal with, but by no means is it the worst we could have. So we'll see how it all ends up playing out. And obviously, coming in, you know, one or two of you, not a bad idea. Instead of coming in, you know, 4 or 5. I feel like we've talked about that once or twice before.
We literally flogged the donkey on that one, didn't we? We literally discussed that every single week about pit entry and going in on your own rather than going in as a group. So let's see how it works out. Radle's in, Kuba's in as well. Spainow's now going in. He's able to get down. Well done. Good job. We've got no pit lane limiters, don't forget, as well. So it is all self-fill on the foot. Are some people out of sync here? Is this where we're looking at the fact that we've had the 2 cautions and that's why some are able to go longer than others? Because, you know, we generally don't see them so far apart, but especially with the top guys going in early, there's normally somebody else following them in, as Hannah's gone in as well. Spainow is still in, but we did say it's a long old pit stop here. Round about 45 to 50 seconds. So a 19 to go. And we've got Brandon McLaughlin out in the front currently at the moment.
Yeah, and he it looks like he pitted at a very good time because now he is ahead. And I want to say Almquist has already pit though, so it could get a little interesting there. It looks like it says he's already pit, but I don't think my thing's updated.
No,
it said that yeah.
He's only done 2. He's only done 2, and we've had 2 cautions where they all pitted twice, and then this third one is the under green one.
Yeah, so it looks like Almquist is coming in right now. So like McLaughlin is kind of going to ride this. McQuiggan, I think, came in just at the... It looks like he might have gotten a little unlucky in that Witt has managed to get himself out ahead of him. But, I mean, those two are going to be dueling the whole way as we're going to start seeing everyone come in for new tires. And it's... I don't know if it's necessarily that, you know, everyone's out of sync or because of the cautions. It was just depending on how you really played with the tire saving throughout this. Because obviously you could have had a fan, as McLaughlin comes in as well here, and like if you were really heavy tire saving, you easily could push a little further, right? But if you weren't, then you're gonna have to come in a little earlier. So, or if you just straight up hit the kind of end of your fuel. So it's not necessarily all over the place. It just, pit strategies have to adjust and change, and you kind of have to decide what's best for how you have the car set up and how you're hoping to finish and drive throughout the entirety of the race. So
yeah, well, we've got
we'll see how it shakes out.
17 to go. Yeah, we're going to see how this all nestles out. Don't worry too much about the one lap down at the moment. I think give it a minute, let it settle down here, because I've got a funny feeling there's going to be people who aren't going to be this one lap down by the time this all comes out. So let's see how this one pans out as well. Mr. Spainhour Senior, sir, next season school needs a new professor like TJ, and so glad you guys will be broadcasting. Thank you so much. The season does start again, of course. We are starting on June, I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. It will be June the 13th at Daytona under lights. Now, that's the only one piece of track information that we've been given, the fact that we're starting at Daytona. Other than that, we have no idea what this calendar is going to be. Now, from my perspective, I'd love to see a 17 calendar oval, but I know deep down there's going to be road circuits in there. I just hope they don't put Chicago in there. Please do not put Chicago in this. Just don't. I don't know if anybody's seen the circuit at Chicago, but it is two squares joined by a couple of lines. It really is, to put it bluntly, a dreadful circuit, and not one that I would like to see on the calendar. So I'm hoping if anybody's listening, Armand Brousseau at this point, or Calvin Ross, please don't put Chicago on the calendar, because that would just dash me all it will just dash my spirits for next season, because it is an awful track.
But it does have good pizza. So
yeah, all right. We've discussed, we've had we had the pizza battles as well, New York or Chicago, and we've had this discussion in another Discord as well. So it may have great pizza, but it's got a dreadful circuit. And actually, on the upside of that, I spoke to somebody from Chicago, and they were saying that they literally could have used so much more of that layout within Chicago to make it a great circuit, and they didn't. They went down one side, they came back up the other with a couple of corners in the middle. It's how this pans out in July when they go there for the first weekend of July. It's going to be interesting. Now the guy I spoke to is actually going to that as well. He's going just to see, and the verdict is it's either going to be an F1 Monaco race, or it's going to be an absolute crash fest, because there is just nowhere to go. We did a GT3 race within iRacing there, and literally there was one car that didn't have damage. Every other panel was broken on every other car. It was like Days of Thunder, where he goes along and kicks the door in, because they hit every other part of the car, and they might as well hit that one as well. I don't know what anybody else thinks within chat, so let me know. Maybe you think I'm being a little bit harsh here, but it's a dreadful circuit. I've got to be honest, and I'm really miffed of how they come up with it.
Yeah, it's not a great track to have to drive or watch, really. But I'm hoping some a few different tracks. I know there's some that are really exciting and really interesting and really different, but we'll see how it all goes. I mean, Daytona, you have to do Daytona. If you don't do Daytona, are you really doing NASCAR?
No.
So that'll at least be exciting. But yeah, road tracks, I mean, I know how you feel about them. It's definitely your favorite. But I'd be okay if we did a couple and that was kind of it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how we still have Watkins Glen, so maybe it'll change your mind a little bit.
No. No, it won't. I just don't. It's hard to say. It's PB and Marmite. It just doesn't go together. It doesn't go together, and it's not one that you should do. Yeah, and yeah, I watched the Dakota NASCAR, right? Now, whether I think that was from this year because Jenson Button was in it. You know, there was just some unbelievable things going on. I had a chat with the guys in the Discord actually about the fact that is there no track limits at a race circuit for NASCAR? Because they were taking every liberty of where the track limits was. At one point, none of the cars were even on the race circuit going into a corner. They were cutting it that much that all four wheels was over the white line. Now, obviously, being an F1 fan, as we know, 4 wheels over the white line, you get a penalty. And not one penalty was given. I didn't understand what was going on. Apart from watching a line of 25 cars cut a corner, there weren't a lot going on. But apparently, I've been told that if it's tarmac and they can drive on it, they're allowed. So that was it, really.
Yeah, for COTA for these cars, I know the only spot they really consider giving off tracks, I guess, is through the S's. Outside of that, they really don't.
No, apparently that was what was told to me. It was said to me that it was the only line was through the S's that they worry about. Everything else, nothing.
Yeah, it's a very kind of wild west when it comes to driving COTA in a NASCAR. And yes, very different than how they drive it in F1 in that you kind of have to be pretty strict as to what line you're taking and where you're going. So,
well, I tell you what, Russo was very strict there with Ross. He went straight past him. Ross is now trying to tuck up behind him again. Don't forget, this is the battle down at the end with Raider involved in all of this as well. So we are going to have to wait for these results to come in. Now, I won't be able to give, unfortunately, an announcement on the broadcast who has got where, because there's obviously the stage points to be added, there's the quali points, there's the fastest lap, there's leading and all this. So we won't be able to give you an update. I can give you a rough idea of who's made it in and who hasn't, but officially we'll have to wait for the officials to come out when they release it in the Discord. And I'm expecting that to be later on tonight. Unfortunately, by that point, I will be in bed, being that it's 2 a.m. So we won't be able to give you an announcement tonight. Maybe keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Once we find out what they are, we'll put a post up on YouTube and you can have a look and see where your favourite finished or came during that time. But then we've still got 4 more races to go, guys. We've got Talladega, Watkins Glen, Las Vegas and Homestead. So don't forget to tune in as of next week as well, because we are just going to continue running. We're not having that week's break that was suggested initially. So we are just going to keep going week after week here as well until the end of the season. And then the new season starts, as I say, June 13th at Daytona under the lights. So keep an eye on the JBB YouTube channel. Tomorrow when you wake up, we will have a post up there of all the winners and who have qualified for the playoffs. 7 to go here. Alex Witt is just, well, he's gone, isn't he, Kenton?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a almost 5.5 second lead at this point. Like, barring something going very wrong or McQuiggan suddenly finding over about a second per lap, it's pretty much Witt's win here at this point. He's gonna do what he does, and that's drive very fast and very much in front.
Yeah, he's definitely just going about his business, taking the race as he is. This is the battle further back here as well. Brusso coming up to Spain hour. Tuck in, Terry, tuck in, tuck in. Tuck and roll, as they say in Turbo with the snails. So, oh no, that's IndyCar. Sorry, wrong one. So, it is,
push to pass.
Yeah, it is IndyCar, isn't it? With the turbo. Yeah, it is, because they go. Yeah, the snail is Turbo, and that's IndyCar. So, sorry, my mistake. But from Spainhouse point of view, I would tuck in, especially as the fact that Brusso has just pulled out a chunk of time on me and gone past me. I would definitely be tucking up right as close as I possibly can get there, as Chikuba comes right near Jordan Malcolm. Just follow that line, Chi in that beautiful white and gold livery. Does look amazing, I'm not going to lie.
It's really well done.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it is definitely there as well. You know.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah, we do. 4 to go. Alex Witt out in front. Josh McGuigan, Noel Hanna. It's getting a little bit tighter between Hanna and McGuigan. Can McGuigan wrap up this second place? He's missed a couple of races, of course. Don't forget there for Josh McGuigan. He wasn't at round 1. He wasn't at round 2. He wasn't at round 5. And he wasn't at round 10. So he's missed 4 races this season already and is still finding himself in the playoffs. So fair play to Josh McGuigan, an absolutely stellar job there as well. The thing is, you're looking back at the scorecards and you're thinking, if you hadn't had a bad run here or if you hadn't had a bad run there, it could have been a completely different story. Round 3 and 4 were absolutely terrible for Terry there as well. He got 15 and 17 points respectively, when every other round he's been above the 20s. So from his point of view, he will rue currently going down to Dover and also, where was we, at Kota. So, oh, caution's out.
Ooh, let's look at a little more spicy.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Hold on. There better be a reason here.
Yeah, hopefully a real one.
A real one. Yes. No. Not really.
No, not really at all.
No, Calvin Ross went off track, so I'm just going to see if it was... Possibly.
Oh, but I don't... Usually they don't throw a yellow for in the... Unless it was just because he stopped completely?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know there.
Yeah, I don't know on that one.
So once again, we have no bloody clue why safety.
No clue on the caution. I'm going to presume it was for Calvin Ross, and that is on lap 72. We are going to have a green-white checker for the end here. Stay out, Terry. Stay out. Go for it. No, get out of the pits. I would. Wouldn't you?
I mean, depends.
I would. This close. 3 laps. I'd stay out. Take the lead. Go straight through.
Those fresh tires, though, could be a big issue if you've gotten pretty dead tires.
No. No, not when you stopped already. I just go. I would have gone through. I wouldn't have stopped. Ran straight through, said, see you later, I'm on my bike. Go. Come on, 8th place. Oh. I tell you, I do get a little bit too much excited here, and that's only the pit lane cycle. You know what I mean? See, Brusso stayed out. Kern stayed out. Joshua Kern and Tony Hedge. All, I'm going to presume all stayed out because they are right up behind the pack. I would have stayed out. I would have literally stayed out. I wouldn't have got him.
I guess we'll see how it works out for Brusso, Kuhn, and Hedge. I mean,
Brusso needs this, mate. He needs this.
Oh, he does. 100%. But I mean, it could also. It's a little bit backfire. Yeah.
No. Brusso's. He needed this, and there was no way under 3 laps, within the next 120 seconds, we're going to find out whether or not Brusso just pulled a masterstroke. And I would have stayed out as well. Let me know in chat what you would have done. 3 laps to go. Would you have gone in if you had the fuel? I would have stayed out.
I don't think I would have. I don't think I could have. But I guess we'll see.
Why would you have gone in? 3 laps.
Fresh tires.
Yeah, but why? What would be the need? 3 laps to go.
If you're McLaughlin, I mean, or Hannah, you're going off what Witt does. If Witt goes in, you go in. You get the... And yes, it's only 3 laps, but they're 40-ish second laps.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of time. And think it's going to have much more of an effect, probably I'd say on the last lap than the first two, but there's a good chance you're going to see McLaughlin, Witt, and Hannah go fairly quickly past here.
Well, green, white checker to finish us off. What more can we ask for than the final round before we go into the playoffs next week at Talladega? Then a free and then a green and white checker here at the Auto Club. Has Brousseau, McLaughlin and Kern pulled off a master stroke by not going in? I don't think I would have gone in. I would have stayed out and said, no, I've got 3 laps, ride it out. Here we go. Hold on to your hats, everyone, because this is going to be decided by GWC. You can see on the outside there, Jordan Malcolm is just etching to try and clear Spainhour, but here we go. It's going to be Brousseau up front. I think this is his first time. He's going to get bonus points for leading a lap as well. Don't forget that. Brousseau's gone. Here we go. We're under starters. Oh, no! Radial's off! Radial's off! Radial and Malcolm are off! Has Brousseau done this? Oh, it's a caution.
Don't know if they have a second green and white checkered for this, though.
Is there more than one?
I don't know on that. I don't think they did. I think it was only going to be 1 green, white checkered and then finish under caution.
Now tell me you should have gone out. Because if it's finished in under caution, Brousseau's going to take the victory.
In a complete sort of fluky end of things, yes. This would have been the best time to stay out, I guess.
Oh, see, Spainhour, you missed out on a win. Oh, let's have a look at this. But it was Radial and Malcolm. You see,
that's going to be a hard hit in the wall, too.
Yeah, they're coming down. He comes down on him. There they go. Jordan Malcolm and Anthony Radial. Radial's got to be sitting there going, just no, 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 no. As you can see him punch the wall.
Yeah, that's not going to help either of them.
No. But are we under a caution? That's going to be the question. And the only way we're going to find that out is if we quickly have a chat with Armand Brousseau. Are we going to finish under caution, Armand? Yes or no?
You still have 2 more green white checkers, guys.
Oh, you got 3.
I told this is the first time the new rule took in place, and I'm freaking out right now.
Dude, you've pulled a master stroke. Take the win. I have faith.
I'm trying.
You got this, bro. You got this. I'm going to let you go. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, 2 more GWCs.
I could feel the stress in that conversation right there. I could feel his stress.
Armand Brousseau had the sheer panic in that car. Oh dear. Alquist is in, Kuma's in, Radial's in, Malcolm's in. Is this the end of Radial's chance?
I think, yeah, he's done. He's got no chance now. I mean, he's going to be in 13th, and unless he can, I don't see it happening.
All right. Okay, so bar Armand Brousseau, he just sounds like he's going to have an heart attack in that car at the moment. What's he got to do now? I know he's. Please don't say he's got to stay out in front and win. I get that. We know that. But he's freaking out. He needs to calm down, doesn't he? He needs a cuddle right about now.
Yeah, he needs. I mean, for him, this whole thing is going to be about keeping that inside line to himself, and not allowing anyone to kind of dive in underneath him and pull off a little bit faster of an exit there. He's going to have to really hold that line and try and prevent anyone from getting close to it, because yeah, right now he's going to be in tough, because like, you know, first green white checkered, maybe, sure, okay, but now his tires are another couple, you know, however many laps older again. And yes, it's not fast driving, but it still takes some wear and tear. So we'll see as Spainhour actually comes back into the pits.
Why?
As did Almquist.
Why? You've just been in. Oh, get onto the back of, get onto the back of that pack now.
Maybe he didn't get enough fuel, or he didn't fuel up and was just going to go for it. That I don't know.
Get onto the back. Right. Maybe he's, I don't know what he's done. Maybe he's done something miraculously amazing. We know Terry does wonderful pit stops. Well, things in the pit stop, but I feel sorry. I feel so sorry for Armand about now. He's literally in that car freaking out like an absolute trooper. He knows he needs this win. One mistake and this could all go wrong. They need Chikuba to get up. Why are you so far back? Tuck up. Tuck and roll.
The saving grace for Brusso right now is...
Oh, Hedge has gone in. Very late.
Oh, that's
late.
Interesting.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, very late.
Here we go. We're under starter's orders. Where are you going?
What? Did he run out of fuel?
No. Has he run out?
What just happened?
I don't know. I don't know. But we're under 2 laps to go. Here we go. Auto Club is going to provide us with the action. Brusso's still running around in 11th, but what has he done?
I think he's out of fuel because he's not getting past that corner.
Here we go. One more run at it. Oh, with
no! As Witt goes around, and then and Hannah gets taken out there too.
Did he avoid it? He didn't. His car's trashed. Oh no! The 86 has gone.
What? So we're gonna go into the third and final, I guess.
Oh. No, no, no. Oh.
He's missing a good chunk of that front end too.
Oh, I'm wondering if that started up here, you know.
Oh, it did. It looks like Witt gets kind of collected by, I can't see the number, but the black, the car right behind him, and that, who is that? That's, oh, I can't see. It looks like a
29? Christian Strada? Yes.
Strada, yeah, it looks like Strada, they make contact, and that causes Witt to, he gets in with Chikuba there.
Yeah, but he comes up.
Oh, and then into Noel Hanna. That's gonna send his car for some repairs.
Yeah,
but yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Strada and Witt made contact, which then sent, unfortunately, Witt up into McLaughlin, and then he collected Noel Hanna, which collected Spainhauer, which collected Chikuba, which collected basically half the field there.
That's my top 5 gone. I can't remember who Diesel was. Diesel was Chikuba, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I am slumped in my chair watching the 86 go onto the grass with half the car missing. Literally slowed down for the wreck and I still got hit. I'm so done. Oh, no. Now, let me just inform you of something there, G, before you make that decision. And it's based off this. If you watch this young man... here, he tries to avoid the wreck, okay? So he's avoiding the wreck. He's on the brakes, trying to get out of the way, and then you wouldn't have avoided it anyway because Hannah was already coming across track at you. So, unfortunately, I don't want to sit there and say you would have avoided it, G, because I got this funny feeling regardless. If I go in here with you right about now, you would have ended up into Noel Hanna as he's coming across track. Hannah's going backwards at this moment in time. And yes, he would have met you at the wall. So, yeah, I don't think, unfortunately, G, that would have been you at all missing that one, regardless of what happened with the slow. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you about that.
Out of the situation, yeah.
Yeah, he was coming back up. Look at that. Who's sitting in 4th place?
Calvin Ross might be. See, I said it could change very quickly. All it takes is a crash and that whole thing. Yeah, things move. NASCAR, it changes very, very fast.
Yeah, it does.
So,
right, here we go again for the 3rd and final GWC from Auto Club or Next Gen California or wherever you are in the world, whatever you want to call it. And at the moment, Calvin Ross has just got to keep this car on track. That is his aim. He's just got to keep it on track to get points. Brusso is out. Radel is out. Jordan Malcolm is out. The only other person in front at this moment in time was Almquist, I believe. Yep, Andrew Almquist and McLaughlin. He's ahead of Almquist. McLaughlin is in the lead. So here we go for the 3rd and final GWC from the Auto Club. Alex Witt's trying to make moves at the beginning of already. Here we go. Let's see how this one pans out, Kenton. 3rd and final GWC. Here we go.
Brusso, oh, he's 2 laps down. Okay, I was like, where did Brusso come from? Because he's suddenly up at the top, but he's 2 laps down, unfortunately. And I think...
Oh
no! As Brusso makes contact with Calvin Ross, he is able to save it, so he is still going forward. But Brandon McLaughlin, he's gonna be in tough, I think, as he's got McQuiggan right behind him and Witt's right behind McQuiggan. So I think McLaughlin's gonna have a little bit of an interesting time trying to hold on to first here. And it looks like Ross has kind of dropped off a little bit off the back here. But we'll see how it all ends up.
But he's done the right thing. Here we go.
He just needs to keep it pointed forward.
Yeah, final lap. Stay away. Stay away. Oh, no! Ross, move! Oh! He made it through! Final lap of the race. Here we go. McLaughlin, I think, is going to get it. It's going to be the battle for second. Is Ross going to run down the outside? They're going to be going to the line. It's almost going to be 3 wide. Ross, keep it out the wall. He's got Almquist in front of him. He needs that inside line. Down the right, down to the line. Oh! I don't know. I don't know if he got it. I don't think he did.
I don't know. He's in 3rd, but we'll have to see kind of how it goes.
Oh, I think it was Almquist across the line. As I've just woke everybody up in my house at 2 a.m.
Russo gives him a nice little love tap.
Yeah. Oh, these admins, I tell you, look, admin are lean owners. This is what they do. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Well, guys, if that don't get you excited for next season, I don't know what will. But let's bring you the results. Brandon McLaughlin takes the victory with Andrew Almquist there. Calvin Ross in 3rd. He didn't get 2nd, he got 3rd. Noel Hanna 4th. Tony Hedge 5th. Josh McGuigan, Alex Witt and Armand Brusso, Strada and Kuhn ran out your top 10. Kuba in 11th. Spainhour 12th. Malcolm 13th. And Anthony Radel 14th place there. And, well, I don't really know what to say about that, to be honest. That was just insane. Absolutely insane. And we are going to bring some people in for interviews. Let's start off with Brandon McLaughlin, your winner here tonight at Auto Club, at Next Gen California, at whatever we're going to call the circuit this evening. Brandon, welcome him in. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. I've just witnessed an incredible ending to an incredible race. I've just woken up my whole house at 2 in the morning. What more could we ask for, sir? Apart from you taking the victory. Incredible drive.
Thank you. That was a blast.
Yeah, it looked absolutely amazing. I've got to be honest. To be in that would have been incredible. You know, 3 laps to go. Yellow flag comes out. Do you pit? Did you pit?
I did not. I pit when the first caution came out before any of the green, white checkers, and I made sure I had enough gas in case we went 3 green, white checkers, and I ended with 0.4.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do a burnout.
No, there's not even enough to do a donut, is there?
No.
No, what a shame on that one. But we knew it was going to be close. We think Armand Brusso ran out of fuel. So I think that's probably where his sheer panic come in, because he just pulled down and stopped. So we think he ran out of fuel there. But look, I can't tell you right about now if you stayed in the top 8. I've got a funny feeling you have with that victory.
I think so.
I think so too. And so, you know, you may have just done yourself a massive favour and put yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah, when that first caution came out, I was thinking the same thing. I just, don't screw it up, Brandon. Don't screw it up.
Yeah, that was literally what I was thinking as well, because it was just absolutely incredible. Yeah, and you sit back and you wonder what happened, what could have happened, and you took the victory there, bud. Absolutely incredible. Before we let you go this evening, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I'll thank the BSC for letting me race. I always love this league. I'll thank Strader, who was in chat with me, and Spainhour. They were both in chat with me, and it was a good old time.
Yeah, Terry not happy?
He screwed up a little bit at the end.
Yeah, okay. He tried
all in fun.
Yeah, he tried to avoid an accident, and unfortunately just went up into Chi, who was going to be hit by, looked like Hannah anyway. So it looked all a little bit messy anyway. But look, Brandon, well done there, sir. You've taken the victory. Absolutely incredible for you, and enjoy yourself.
Cool, thank you. You guys are great.
Take care.
Bye.
Right, let's have a chat with one Mr. Calvin Ross there as well. Calvin, how are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think my heart rate's still in like the 200s, and it'll take a couple minutes to calm down, but I thought that was a good end of the race.
It was. What do you think your chances are of playoffs?
Probably pretty low. I'm not really sure where the couple people ahead of me finished, but it'll certainly make it closer. I hope I make it in, but it's been a good season if I haven't.
Well, if we're going off, obviously, without the bonus points, without the stage wins and what iRacing is telling me, unfortunately, iRacing has you down in 11th.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I'd be interested to see where they score me at the stage, too, because I was kind of going backwards across the line at the yellow. That might be my only saving grace, but sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time.
You definitely are. I think we put the stage win down to Alex Witt. Maybe we might be. We did say we might be a little bit premature there, because, to be honest, it was a bit chaotic. But going forward though, you've had a good season up to here, right? Do you think last week not being here didn't do you any favors?
Oh, it definitely didn't. It was something I had to take care of. Couldn't be here, and unfortunately, early season woes put me in the position I was in, and had to take the losses where I had to. But you never know. There's always next season, and hopefully, I can keep this momentum up through the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Will be absolutely amazing seeing you in there as well, Calvin. So look forward to seeing you at Talladega. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
I always got to give a shout out to Killer Brownie, best brownies you'll ever eat, and shout out to my sister and my teammate Armin. They do great. Couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, having a nice little putting your car into each other with Armand at the end then.
It's just brotherly love.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought as well. But Calvin, thank you so much for that, buddy. And we look forward to maybe having a chat with you next week at Talladega.
Sounds good. See you guys then.
Take care. Right, now, next up, we have got Armin Alquist. In the booth, Andrew, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Good evening. How are you guys doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. That was an interesting ending.
Yeah, quite. Did not think I'd get back up there. That was something else.
Yeah, it definitely was. How do you think your playoff position has gone?
Oh, did I make it? I don't think I'm looking. I don't think my shot.
Well,
my chances
you
were
weren't
too
too
good.
far behind, to be fair. Anthony Radel,
Yeah.
who you finished in front of. Brandon obviously took the win, and Armand, who you finished in front of as well. So,
Yeah, we'll have to see when Noel posts the points tonight whether or not I made it. If I made it, that's awesome, and Noah's going to be a long shot coming in. But obviously, my best run so far this season. Decent qualifying run as well. Got some stage points. So, all in all, a pretty good evening.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because at the moment, I don't know if your stage points go into iRacing, the way it's worked up.
Yeah, I don't believe they do.
No, you are currently, if they don't, you are, according to iRacing, you're in 9th. You're 7 points back from from Armin. But obviously, without the stage points and everything else added, we will have to see. You know, going forward, though, you know, we go into Talladega. If you haven't made it, you know, you're just going to go out and put on a show at Dega?
Yeah, at that point, it's all about just scoring a win then, right? Points don't matter if you're out of the playoffs, so try to shake it up and have some fun.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one here this evening. I've got to be honest. I did absolutely love that as well. Andrew, thanks so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I got Stone Creek Coffee on the car that I've been repping for the last half of the season here. Got to thank them, local coffee roaster out of Milwaukee here. And then got the league sponsors. Certainly have to thank. So we've got Chairs for Gaming, Dubby, and can't forget Killer Brownie. So thanks to those guys for helping us out.
Awesome stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us in the booth there, buddy. We look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Talladega.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Take care.
Yep.
I'm erring on the side of caution whether or not to have a chat with Mr. Armour Brusso. Let me just put the feelers out and see, because it'd be interesting to see what happened, wouldn't it? I think, Kenton.
Yeah, I'd be very curious, because I think it was just a case of him running out of fuel, but who knows? Maybe there was something else that came into play.
Well, we are going to find out now, as I am joined in the booth. Armin, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, I guess.
Okay, what happened? Because when you spoke to us, you were in, you know, state of panic, freaking out. Went green, you pulled off.
iRacing's new auto fuel feature that I don't use for any of my apps turned on, and it gave me just enough fuel to finish the race under green, and I ran out of fuel.
Oh.
I don't use crew chief's auto fuel feature, and I don't use iRacing's auto fuel feature, and it turned on itself. No matter the circumstance, I always take a full tank of fuel because I don't care. I'd rather have it, and their new terrible feature screwed me over. But it is what it is. I was happy to have the chance.
Okay, well, without everything else that's added, currently, according to iRacing, in the iRacing scoring system, you are sat in 8th place. On 2.
I think that's not going to stay because we don't have the stage points in iRacing, and I didn't get any stage points, and everybody else above me did. So we'll see. But
well, the only one around
I gave a chance there.
Yeah, the only one around you was Andrew. So it depends what Andrew Onquist got.
Yeah, I don't remember where he was.
No, me neither. So it's going to be interesting going forward anyway. Look, regardless of whether or not you're in the playoffs, you know, yes, it's going to hurt because you were so close, and yet so far, it's not, you know, you've had a good season. You had a good go. You had a run at it. You know, coming back stronger next week in Talladega?
I hope so. Talladega, anybody can win, and the only strategy is being first when the green flag, when the checker flag comes out. There's really no advantages for anybody in Talladega, so anybody can win. So if I can sneak in the playoffs, then take a win at Talladega, and by some miracle that puts me into the top 4, that'd be great. But I'm just going to be here and do my best to try to win, but I'll take what I can get at this point.
Yeah, it was. Why we've got you as well. Announcement went out this week. A little teaser come out. Starting the next season on June the 13th at Daytona. Now, that was the only track you would mention.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
I can give you a couple sneak peeks. We are only doing 2 road courses next week.
Yes.
Next season. One of them is not Chicago. I know you're disappointed.
Oh, that's desperately.
We will be going to Road America and Watkins Glen because that's a good track. As for potential new tracks for next season, look forward to seeing Darlington, Pocono, and we're doing an all-star race next year, and that will be at Bristol Dirt. So look forward to that.
Oh, well, there you go, guys. You've heard it first. If you've gone already out of the chat, you're going to miss that announcement as well there from Armand as well. Road America, Watkins Glen. I'm happy. 2 circuits. That's it for me. I'm good with that one. So all in all, It's going to be an interesting season. How many races we got next season?
It's 16 and then 17 if you count the All-Star race.
Oh, well, there we go. Thank you so much for joining us, Armand, man. It's been an absolutely epic evening of racing. Obviously, you can turn the, apparently, if you go into the app ini file, you can turn the auto fuel off permanently.
Yeah, I thought I did.
Okay, never mind.
I think the update turned it back on.
Onwards and upwards, Armand. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go, bud?
I just want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. You do a wonderful job. I want to thank my league admins, Noel, AA, and Greg, who couldn't make it tonight. And I want to thank Killer Brownie. I got a new paint scheme. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And big things to come next season. Looking forward to these last 4 races and then taking a little break and getting right back at it.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening there, bud. And we look forward to hopefully having a chat with you next week at Talladega.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And you. Oh, Kenton, I'm so happy. 2 road circuits and not Chicago.
Yeah, figured you'd be pretty stoked about that.
Oh, mate, I'm made up like a kid in a sweet shop currently. I'm not going to lie, because at the end of the day, I didn't want Chicago on there. And I'm only happy with 2 as well, because you got to be happy with 2. You said you'd want to see 2 on there.
Yeah, 2 sounds great to me. I think it'll be a lot of fun, for sure.
Road America, Watkins Glen.
2 good tracks, really.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so round out tonight's racing for us, Kenton, before we end off.
Chaos. I don't even need a sentence for it. Just chaos. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a quick race. I mean, we took full advantage of every lap we could muster out of this one single race. So, no, it was great. Couple unfortunate crashes, but led to a very entertaining finish for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was. 3 green, white checkers and Brandon McLaughlin coming out your winner with Andrew Onquist second and Calvin Ross third. We will keep an eye on the scores, guys, as well, and we will see when they come out. We will post it on YouTube as well, so keep an eye on the YouTube posts as well there as well for the scores and the announcements of who made the top 8. Anthony Radels in chat. Great price, guys. Guys, thanks for all you do. No worries at all. It's been an absolute pleasure here this evening as well. But from myself and Kenton Sportak, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.